If you've been waking somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning, you are far from alone. For many women, it starts the same way. You have a sudden wave of heat rolling through your body out of nowhere. One moment, you're sleeping peacefully. The next, you're throwing off blankets, flipping your pillow to the cool side, and waiting for your body to settle down enough to feel comfortable again. But then, just as the heat begins to fade, another familiar realization shows up. You have to use the bathroom. Now you're standing up, moving around, and fully awake. What should have been a brief interruption has now quietly turned into far longer than expected. Minutes stretching on while you try to guide your body back towards sleep. And after enough nights like that, frustration naturally creeps in and questions begin surfacing. What changed? Why does sleep suddenly feel so hard? Before long, your own body can start feeling unfamiliar, almost unpredictable. Here's the reassuring truth, though. In many cases, your body is not working against you. It's responding to profound internal change. Once you understand what's happening beneath the surface, sleep becomes less mysterious, and you can start supporting your body in ways that actually help. So today, I want to unpack why this happens, what's changing in midlife, and what you can do to improve your chances of sleeping through the night. So, what's really happening here? One of the biggest misunderstandings about midlife hormone changes is thinking hot flashes are mostly a daytime problem. For a lot of us, nighttime is when hormone changes make themselves known most clearly. The body's internal thermostat becomes more sensitive, and temperature shifts that once went unnoticed suddenly feel intense. A blanket that used to feel comforting can start feeling heavy, or a room that always felt fine can suddenly feel stifling. What's happening behind the scenes is bigger than body temperature alone. Hormone fluctuations affect far more than most women realize. They can change how deeply you sleep, influence your mood, make clear thinking feel harder, and leave your nervous system feeling less steady under everyday stress. That's why one woman may notice night sweats, while another may feel anxious or restless, or someone else may wake repeatedly without knowing why. The symptoms vary, but the root shift is often similar. Internal systems that once operated in the background become much more reactive. And once sleep is interrupted, the brain quickly joins the conversation. Physical discomfort becomes more noticeable. The bladder suddenly feels urgent. Movement wakes the body further, and awareness sharpens. Soon, what began as a quick heat surge has turned into a fully awake nervous system, trying to settle itself back down. That cycle can repeat several times in a single night. It's rarely just one thing, though. Hormones may be the spark, but sleep disruption in midlife is often layered. The dinner we eat can play a role. A meal that sends blood sugar sharply up or leaves you hungry again a few hours later can create overnight swings that disturb sleep. Alcohol changes the picture too. Even moderate drinking can quietly interfere with deep sleep and make temperature regulations more difficult. Another culprit is caffeine, which often lingers longer than it used to. I know for me, I cannot have anything with caffeine past 11 a.m., or I'm very restless at night. Stress doesn't always feel like racing thoughts or obvious overwhelm. Sometimes it shows up more quietly, living in the body as tension, mental heaviness, or that constant low hum of carrying too much for too long. Even during calm moments, your nervous system may still be holding on to what's unfinished, what feels uncertain, and what still needs your energy. I've noticed this when my smartwatch alerts me that my stress is high, even though I'm relaxed on the couch with the dogs, watching a show. Layer that on top of midlife body changes, and sleep often becomes far more sensitive than it once was. For most women, there's one simple culprit. It's a stack of small things working together. How often have you noticed the exhausted but wired feeling? One of the strangest parts of midlife is feeling tired all day, then finding yourself unexpectedly alert in the middle of the night. That contradiction is frustrating, but it makes sense. A nervous system that has been carrying too much for too long becomes more sensitive. Heat feels hotter, minor discomfort feels bigger. A small noise is enough to wake you. Going too long without eating can hit harder than it once did. Little disruptions start creating outside reactions, and nighttime simply becomes the place where that overload is easiest to notice. I can tell you exactly what this looks like in my own life. I'll wake up hot in the middle of the night, throw off the blankets, and wait for my body to cool down. Then I realize I have to use the bathroom, climb back into bed, and lie there wondering whether sleep is actually coming back or whether I'm just awake now. That cycle can repeat more than once in a night. After enough nights like that, I feel it the next day. I'm still able to move through what needs to get done, but I can tell I'm not showing up with the same spark. I'm a little more tired, a little less patient, and it's easier for my mind to wander when I'm trying to stay focused. And by now, you might be wondering, what actually helps? One of the first things worth doing is rethinking your sleep environment. A cooler room can make a big difference. Lighter blankets often feel better than heavy bedding. A good airflow matters more than many women realize. Even something as simple as breathable sleepwear can help your body regulate more comfortably at night. Some of us find that layering blankets gives us flexibility when body temperature suddenly shifts during the night. What worked 10 years ago may not work now, and that's okay. Supporting your body differently is wisdom, not weakness. Food timing also matters more than many realize. Going to bed overly hungry can backfire. A sugar-heavy snack late at night can create instability while you sleep. Meals built around protein, fiber, and steadier energy often help the body remain calmer overnight. Morning light can be a powerful medicine too. Stepping outside early, even briefly, helps reset your circadian rhythm and supports healthier melatonin production later that night. Some of my favorite mornings are the quiet ones. Hearing the wind moving through the trees and stepping outside with Chewy and Leia before the day gets noisy. Simple rhythms like that help regulate the body more than we often give them credit for. Creating calm during the day matters too. Simple things can make a real difference. Going for a walk, stepping away from screens, giving yourself a few quiet minutes to breathe, or allowing a little stillness in the middle of a busy day. All those small pauses remind the body that everything is not urgent. Your nervous system needs that reminder. And finally, it's worth remembering that hormone shifts are not the only possible cause. Sometimes there are other pieces contributing, things like thyroid changes, blood sugar instability, sleep apnea, medication side effects, or even nutrient deficiencies. That's why it's worth checking in with your doctor if symptoms feel severe or unusual. If your body keeps waking you in the middle of the night, it does not automatically mean something is wrong with you. It may simply mean your body now needs a different kind of support than it once did. Midlife asks for adaptation, not because you are weaker and not because you're failing, but because your body is changing. And learning how to care for yourself through that change is part of growing wiser. That understanding can become deeply empowering. If this episode resonated, please share it with another woman who may be quietly wondering why sleep suddenly feels so hard. And if this is your story too, remember, you are not the only woman awake in the middle of the night wondering what changed. This is the Clarity Reset, where we make sense of what's changing so you can move forward with clarity.